Hey, welcome. Today we're tackling something that's a really big deal for a lot of people, and it's something I care a lot about. We're talking about how to get that rock solid confidence when you're speaking English. And we're not going to do it with boring rules. Nope. We're going to use a simple story. Because stories stick, right? So let me ask you something. Does this sound like you? You get English, right? You can watch a movie, no problem. Read an article, piece of cake. But then the moment comes when you have to actually speak, and it's like the wire's just not connected. Man, is that frustrating or what? And trust me, you are not alone in feeling that way. It's like this. You've got the perfect thing to say. The idea is crystal clear in your head, and then poof, nothing. Your mind just goes completely blank. The words are gone. It's like a giant wall just pops up out of nowhere, and you're stuck on the other side, totally silent. And right after that blankness comes that awful feeling, right? That rush of being scared or shy or just plain embarrassed. Well, look, the way out of this isn't another boring grammar lesson. Forget that. Today, we're going to figure this out with a story. Why a story? Because our brains are wired for them. They're just way easier to remember and actually use. All right, so let's dive in. I want to tell you about a girl named Anaya, and Anaya's story might sound really familiar. She was super smart. She could understand English perfectly, but the second she was supposed to speak, silence. And this is her big problem right here. She had all the input skills down pat. Reading English, easy. Writing it, no problem. Watching movies, totally got it. But the second she had to open her mouth and speak, her heart would start pounding. She'd know the answer, but that fear just locked it inside. Then one day, her teacher told her something that completely flipped a switch in her brain. This was lesson number 1, and it's a big one. It's not about being perfect. It's about being okay with being imperfect. You don't get good by staying silent. You get good by speaking, even if it's wrong English at first. That's the only path to the right English. And wow, that one piece of advice just opened up a whole new way of thinking for Anaya. She suddenly realized, wait a minute, the problem isn't my English, the problem is how I'm thinking about my English. And that's where the real transformation began, right there in her mindset. So the first thing she did was change her relationship with the word mistake. For her, mistakes weren't enemies anymore. They weren't things to be ashamed of. Nope, they became her teachers. Every single slip-up was like a friendly little signpost pointing and saying, hey, work on this next. Okay, this next part is huge. This was probably the biggest trap she had to get out of. We're calling it the translation trap. See, the old way was she'd think of something in her native language, Hindi, then she'd mentally translate every single word into English. Then she'd try to say it. And by then, the moment was gone. The conversation had already moved on. The new way, she cut out the middleman. She just started thinking directly in English. Instead of that whole long process, her brain just went, I am thirsty. So much faster, right? So much more natural. That's how real conversations actually flow. And look, she didn't start by trying to debate philosophy in English. No way. She started super simple. Just look at these sentences. I am happy. I am tired. These are things we think all day long. She was just training her brain one tiny thought at a time to build that new habit of thinking in English from the ground up. Okay, so the mindset shift was step 1. But Anaya knew a new thought isn't enough. You have to turn it into an action, into a habit. So let's get into the next phase. This is where the rubber really meets the road. This right here basically became her motto. Her goal wasn't to sound like a native speaker overnight. It wasn't about perfect grammar. The only goal was to practice, to just speak every single day. Consistency over perfection. That was the whole game. So you might be thinking, okay, but who did she practice with? Well, she found the perfect partner, one who was always available and never judged her. Herself. Seriously, every morning she'd just stand in front of the mirror and narrate her life. Good morning, Anaya. I am brushing my teeth now. I am going to make some tea. I know, it sounds a little weird, right? But after a while, it just became a normal, helpful part of her routine. She also did something really smart. She decided to learn like the best language learners on the planet, little kids. Think about it. A toddler doesn't sit down with a grammar book. What do? They listen and they copy. They just repeat what they hear. So Anaya thought, hey, if it works for them, it'll work for me. And she was really strategic about what she listened to. She wasn't trying to understand some complicated news broadcast. No way. She kept it simple. Easy stories, short videos, podcasts that spoke slowly. She just listened to a sentence, hit pause, and said it out loud. She was training her ears, her brain, and her mouth all at the same time. And through all of this, the mirror practice, the listen and repeat, she stumbled upon the real secret to speaking, the real formula. It wasn't about knowing a million fancy words. She realized that powerful English is actually super simple. It's just the English you already know, plus real, genuine confidence. All right, so Anaya's done the internal work. She's changed her thinking, she's built the habit. But, practice is one thing. The real world, that's the final exam. And this is the part of the story where we find out if all that hard work is actually going to pay off. So picture this. One day, a guest who only speaks English walks into her office. Now, the old Anaya, she would have disappeared, frozen in fear. But this time, something was different. You could see her hesitate for just a second. Then she took a deep breath and she spoke. Just simple words. Hello, welcome, please have a seat. And then the guest smiled. And that smile, that was everything. It was this huge aha moment for her. She suddenly understood deep down that the guest wasn't sitting there grading her grammar. No, the guest was just responding to her warmth, her confidence, her effort. It turns out people don't want perfection from you. They just want connection. Anaya's story is so great because it's not just a nice story, it's a roadmap. It gives us a clear path to follow. So let's break it all down into 5 simple rules that you can literally start using this second this is over. All right, here we go. The 5 big rules. Number 1, stop fearing mistakes. They're your teachers, remember? Number 2, think in English. Ditch that translation habit. Start small. Number 3, speak every single day. No excuses, it's a non-negotiable, even if you're just talking to your reflection. 4, keep it simple. Communication is the goal, not a big vocabulary. And finally, number 5, be confident. That's your secret weapon. It's more powerful than any grammar rule. And really, this is the main takeaway. Please get this. Speaking English isn't some kind of magic talent that you're either born with or you're not. It's just a skill. That's it. It's like learning to cook or play guitar or ride a bike. And how do you get better at any skill? You practice consistently. So that really just leaves us with one final question, doesn't it? And it's the most important one. You've heard Anaya's story, you know the rules now, you know it's not magic, it's a skill that anyone can build. So the only thing left to ask is, are you ready to practice?